welcome to the fourth and final review of the evening. Up this time is a game called Rodent Warriors. Rodent Warriors is an epic 2D roguelike RPG idle indie retro game about rodents. Various kinds of rodents, uh, not just one type.
Mm-hmm.
It's got the mouse, which is a scout, the capybara, which is a knight, porcupine, barbarian, beaver, wizard, rat, necromancer, and weasel, the swashbuckler.
Some
Um,
of those are not rodents.
take it up with the developers. You know.
Oh, I will.
Okay then. Um, so this game was given to Twilight. So over to him for the body.
All right. Well, this game doesn't try to hide it that this was apparently originally a mobile title as before becoming a PC title and console as well. So yeah, this game is actually fairly simple. Well, to start out though, for you, there's a little character creation thing where you pick these things called challenges that will affect your character's stats. You must overcome. I don't think they really mean anything actually specific there. Besides, you have to overcome those weaknesses that you gain as you create your character. From there, you of course pick the various characters that were named off there. I personally like the capybara and the rat, the necromancer, and they were actually pretty fun to play as. Um, well, the gameplay is pretty simple. You move left to right. Occasionally come upon some pathways you can traverse across the map that you slowly um, reveal from the shadows as you traverse each level. Besides, cosmetically, each of the levels are pretty much the same. Um, yeah, then and without really much in the way of any actual differences. Really, not really much different at all besides the enemies, and even then, there isn't a lot uh, different cosmetically between them as well. Just about all of them will come up to you to attack you, and or occasionally they might throw something at you and some sort of projectile and maybe poison you. That's about it. The combat is simple itself. Each of your characters has a close range attack that they'll use. Their strength depending on the class, and the strength of that attack is depending on your stats and the class character you're using. Like, of course, obviously, a barbarian or knight is going to be stronger than your squishy mage type character. The swashbuckler seems to be kind of the middle of the road between all of them. You'll of course acquire skills every so many levels. I forget it's 5 or 10. I think it's like every 10, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 10. But anyway, yeah, and the skills will be, of course, dependent on the character. Like for example, what I can remember pretty well is the capybara has a charging attack that they use with their shield. Actually, pretty fun to use when your character gets strong enough. They can just charge right through a whole section of a level with little to no problems. And of course, Necromancer has the ability to raise the dead and use all sorts of nasty special stat effect spells and such. Um, of course, this game, like a lot of RPG style games these days, has crafting, um, which you can improve your leveling with each piece of equipment that you craft, which automatically equips your character. The interesting part about crafting is that you're not necessarily always going to get a better equipment. Most of the time, that's usually the case. But depending on I think it's your character skill level. I mean, their skill stat. You have a greater chance of getting better equipment. And if you're lucky and have a high enough skill level, you will be able to get the advanced or epic level equipment, better than average type equipment. They'll usually have bonus stat improve boosts. An item, your weapon, armor, helmet, and such. Um, Characters do have their own class-based weapon and special item that they use, which plays into the legacy system, I guess you could call it. You can be able to preserve pieces of equipment so that your next character can acquire. This is one of those games where if your character dies due to permadeath, um, depending on the equipment, that character that piece of equipment that you preserve can carry on to the your next character that you choose to play as. Character specific equipment, of course, will not transfer to the next character, but armor and accessory type items like necklaces, rings. I forget what. Yeah, necklaces and rings and such can be transferred to the next character. And of course, you got to be able to also improve your equipment with these special recipes that you acquire. I never really did make any real use of those myself. Games actually, after some time, can actually get fairly easy as you play through it. Yeah, if you manage to level up your characters well enough, they can actually be much stronger than they were before you start using them, and that improves as you progress through the game with them. And if each time they die, they will have a higher stat in their class specific. Well, your whatever stat that they're best at. Like, of course, the Capybara Knight will have and their vitality stats will be better than the like your mage, wizard, or necromancer's vitality stats. Of course, whatever stat that they specialize in, basically. Let's see here now. Let's see here. The thing that must, of course, mention here that's I find to be quite humorous is that that this game does have a auto play feature, which one of the details that makes it obvious that makes it obvious that this game's from a mobile title. As you have this strategy menu that you can go into, and you can pick and choose what you want the game in-game AI to do for you, like attack, move about, use skills, craft, level up. That put points into your character's levels, have stats with each level up, and you can just sit back and let the game play itself. And it actually does that quite well, which I'm actually quite surprised with. And yeah,
Does it play well enough that you'd wonder why you bother even doing it manually?
yeah, I was actually getting ready to say that. In fact, this entire footage I made was the game doing that all by itself. But for the most part, the only thing I ever actually did while recording this was just put points to the levels and craft the equipment. Yeah. There's a yeah, I'll get more into that in just a bit here. Yeah, and when it comes to the talking about pricing and such, I'm trying to think of anything else that's really worth mentioning gameplay wise. Besides the fact that each level has its own objective that you must accomplish, defeating all the boss enemies. There's a epic boss at the end of the level that you must defeat. They're very spongy, and they will always trap you against the end of the area you find them in. Yeah. Yeah, like I already said, the game's actually quite easy on its already, and there's a hardcore difficulty. I never actually did anything with that, so yeah, it's a pretty easy game. Yeah. Well, anyway, the graphics, the visuals, they're cute, sprite based, of course. Um, you know, cute visuals, and nice backdrop for the levels. Yeah, that's about all I can really say there. The music, the audio, yeah, the music's actually, I have to admit, probably my favorite part of this game. Some really catchy chiptune music. Um, uh, I could actually listen to, maybe not outside the game, but I actually enjoyed listening to it. Well, I was either in the gameplay itself or when I was playing it, some of it myself early on, before the characters got strong enough I didn't need to babysit them much. They do eventually end up dying eventually though. Once they reached that wall where they couldn't beat anything on their own. So yeah. Before I get to pricing, does anybody have any questions on that?
Nope.
I'm good.
All right then. Let's see now. As for pricing, let's see here now. Yeah. On Steam, the game is $9.99, $10. Like I said before, this was originally a mobile title, and looking at the Google Play Store, this was originally $149.
Wow, that's
And
expensive for the Google Play Store.
indeed. And I really can't recommend this game for $9.99. To be honest, like I said, after a while, you will get bored of playing this manually, and will likely switch to the AI controlled strategy system. And with the gameplay itself, so I don't know why you would want to do that. And even then, if you just stuck with the manual controls, I don't think I really recommend this game for $9.99. Maybe $5. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, at least console wise, maybe $5. I can recommend
So
any higher.
on sale or
Yeah,
whatever
on
version.
sale basically. Yeah. This would honestly be much better as a handheld, handheld system experience. So mobile, or I think this game's also available on the Switch as well. You could get it for that. And I think it's also $9.99 over there as well. So yeah, I recommend getting this on sale. Yeah, have fun at first, but honestly, after a while, you use the legacy system for getting the stronger equipment early on from previous characters. This game actually gets pretty easy. Yeah, if you want a game that you honestly would rather play yourself instead of letting the AI just do everything for you and collecting all the trophies and achievements and such, get something else. So yeah, that's it for me.
Right then. So yeah, that'll about do it for Rodent Warriors here. And it'll do it for the review session. The week ahead. So this upcoming Tuesday, um, technically Wednesday where I am, but Tuesday where Mac is, I will be making my second contractual guest appearance on Up Late with Mace. This week we are slated to interview our good friend John Pickett from Manga Gamer, Black Label Edition. So we'll be able to actually show footage from some of the games. Because okay, Manga Gamer apparently has games that are too intense for porn sites.
Well, a lot of adult content platforms these days are being exceptionally wary of things such as consent and uh, age and stuff of even fictional situations for you know, less likely to get fucking legislated out of existence reasons.
Uh, anyway, so on Wednesday, April 28th, we'll be having our friend BU. If you remember, we interviewed her last fall. Um, and also, new from Whitethorn Games, we'll be having the CEO, Dr. Matt White. Like, and we'll be talking about a lot of games, actually. They had a Whitethorn Direct not too long ago, and they announced just a lot of games. So it'll be one of those episodes. I'll be upfront. List episodes like this aren't my favorite because we got like 6, 7, what have you games to cover, and not all that much time to go in depth. So we'll see how that goes. We do have a Friday show this week. On Friday, April 30th, we'll be having Titor Wolk of Star Drifters, another Polish dev. Hopefully Windows Update won't fuck with things this time around. Anyway, we'll be talking about the games Danger Scavenger and the Driftland series. It's 2 games, so that does qualify as a series. Driftland, The Magic Revival, and Nomads of Driftland. So, also a reminder, Last News Desk on the Left is not broadcasting this week. So, not expecting Mac to join us on Wednesday, but, he's always a bit touch and go about that. But until then, I shall wish you good gaming.